Sugar frosted slime. Let's make Paimon proud. Let's start off with the slime. We're using 1.5 packages of blueberry jelly. Boil it. Then spray a dome-shaped bowl and pour your jello all the way to the top. Next is the flour. I'm using edible fondant here, which is an edible icing. Let's make the first petal, bend it, then make the second one. Make striations to make it realistic. Then add fondant glue and wrap it around the first petal. Shape it on a saran wrap and let it dry, then form your leaf. Let's color with some edible dust and some edible gold luster. Then don't forget your leaf. Pour hot water around the jello and release it. Then add generous amounts of powdered sugar, poke in your flour and your leaf. Then you're done. Let's make Sweet Madame from Genshin Impact. First, let's ensure crispy skin by salting and leaving this to dry overnight in the fridge uncovered. Next, let's flavor our chicken with roasted garlic butter. Since Sweet Madame does not have any visible herbs, we'll keep this simple but delicious. Since roasted garlic has a sweeter taste than regular garlic, I thought it really matches the name of the dish as well. Be very careful when you're doing this because you do not want to tear the skin. Again, you can stuff this with some thyme or some rosemary, it's really up to you. Now let's make some saffron butter to brush on top of the chicken. Saffron is really good for this because it has sweet nose and also it browns the chicken nicely. You could also brush it with honey, but I recommend not doing this if you want the skin to be crispy. I just had to do it for aesthetics. Add some jalapenos, tomatoes, olives, and peas and you're done. First, let's remove impurities and the smell of pork by boiling it for a few minutes. Now let's make caramel to give the sauce some color. Add the pork back in and submerge it in water, then add your aromatics. Use a spice bag so you don't choke on your spices. Bring this to a boil and simmer until tender. Now for the dough, knead this mixture for 3 minutes and cover and place in a warm spot. Now cut the dough into quarters, roll it out, and then roll it up as tight as you can without breaking, and the end flap goes under, then smash it into a circle and roll it into a bowl shape. Place into a pan with no oil on medium heat and look for these indications. This took me around 4 to 5 minutes per side to cook. Mince your pork and add some broth to make it juicy, then add some peppers just like the game. Beef and mushroom rolls. King oyster mushrooms. The game said matsutake mushrooms, but those are rare and expensive, so these will do. Now if you have any thick boys, pierce them halfway to make them cook faster. Now spread your beef out carefully. I got these at the Asian market. And make sure you cover up holes by overlapping them. Don't worry, as it cooks, it'll adhere to each other. Now the sauce itself is salty already, but you could add some salt if you're a freak. Now pan fry these guys 2 minutes per side. Then flip them back over and add your sauce and some water. Now the game added some red spicy peppers to this, but I won't be doing it because I'm a... Now this last part is very optional but very delicious. Puppy paw hash brown. The trick to this recipe is to keep everything dry. So here we're gonna put the potatoes back in the hot pan to let it evaporate. Once you have the basics down to this recipe, you can make any filling you want and even any shape. Here I'm just using some classics. Wait until your potatoes are warm before doing this so you don't burn your paws off. If you're adding any cheese, make sure to fully cover it with potatoes so it doesn't leak out. Now let's seal our potato and give it a nice crust. Biggest tip here is to crush your panko so you don't lose any shape definition. In all cases, you just have to wait for your panko to get browned because everything else is already cooked. And enjoy! See you guys in the next recipe! First, we'll start on our vanilla custard that is nestled in between the pancakes. To get a smooth custard, constantly stir the bottom of the pot. If you do get lumps, just strain it. We'll be pairing this with chai, and vanilla and chai go very well together. Next are my chai souffle pancakes. When I think of fluffy, airy pancakes, I think of souffle pancakes. You can definitely make normal pancakes, but I urge you to challenge yourself and be amazed at your potential. Try not to be so vigorous when you do this because you'll break the air bubbles and deflate your pancakes. Treat your batter with care to get fluffy pancakes. Cook these pancakes on very low heat. If it's too hot, you'll end up with a burnt exterior and a raw interior, and that's not what you want. You could decorate just like the game, or keep it minimalistic.
I am astrologist Mona Magistus.
Let's make Mona's specialty version of satisfying salad. Start with Yukon Gold potatoes, peel, slice, fresh rosemary, chop, garlic, chop that up too. In a bowl, add olive oil and all of your chopped ingredients, zest 1 whole lemon, add salt and pepper, and your potatoes. Mix and bake for 450 Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. Now boil some eggs for 8 minutes for a perfect jammy egg. Take some apples, slice the red ones into half moons, and the green ones into diamonds. Place some lettuce, egg, potato, apples, and you're done. See you guys in the next video. Honey roast. Together, let's cook Amber's Outriders Champion Steak. Start with beef tenderloin, oil, salt, and pepper. Then rub on all surfaces. Place it on a smoking hot pan and press lightly for griddle marks. When the bottom turns brown, turn it 90 degrees. If it's stuck to the pan, then it's not ready. Flip and repeat. Each angle turn took me around 2 minutes. Add butter and rosemary, then baste. Remove once you reach your desired temperature and rest. Top with finishing salt or sea salt flakes, which I removed because I didn't like how it looked. See you guys in the next cooking video. Jade Parcels. To make these two-tone wrappers, we first have to make the green dough with spinach. Knead for 5 minutes until not sticky, and then start on the white dough with just water. So this meat mixture will start off very watery, but the more you work it, the better the texture will be. Please, before you add anything to this meat mixture, that it is fully incorporated with all the wet mixtures, because then you'll have a hard time. Knead your dough for the second time, and this time it should be smooth. Use the green dough like a blanket and roll it up. Guys, make sure that your wonton wrappers are as thin as they can possibly be. Fold it in half and tuck in the edges inside the middle. Then give it a little hug. Simmer this broth first for 15 minutes and then drop your parcels in. What do you guys think? Close, huh? To make it a full meal, add some wonton noodles.
Paimon can smell fisherman's toast!
Fishy toast. Golden shrimp balls. We're first going to start off with the shrimp. To craft this recipe in Genshin Impact, you only need shrimp and potato. We'll be doing the same thing, but we'll be adding spices to make it delicious. My inspiration from this comes from deep-fried wonton shrimp balls, except we'll have a crunchy potato chip exterior. Now for the potato. Thinly slicing, getting rid of the starch, cutting them thin, parboiling, and drying allows us to have crunchy potatoes. If you have any extras, you can deep fry it for homemade potato chips. The aroma of white pepper and shrimp while this was cooking had me drooling. Debone your chicken, trim off any overhanging meat, and divide into 3 portions. Chop your trimmings in smaller pieces, then add garlic, salt, and pepper, and stuff it in your mushrooms. Okay guys, time to roll up your sleeves, because we're about to skewer it. You can stuff your chicken with anything you want. Here I'm just using green onions and garlic, but I bet peppers and onions would be good too. Here I'm scoring the tops like the game and salting before baking. These are sauteed veg and chicken bones. Add sake and mirin and let the alcohol evaporate. Add sugar and soy sauce and just let it thicken. Whose house goes to March? Did you see something?
Moon's out, and so am I.
Today I am determined to pull Hotel. Let's start by shaping our mushrooms into ghosts by carving the edges round. In a hot pan, add oil, shallot, ginger, garlic, cooking wine, mushroom stock, dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, honey, salt, and pepper. Submerge your mushrooms and simmer for 8 minutes. Then add it on top of some hot rice. Add fresh cherry tomatoes and other garnishes and you're done.